Britney Spears' manager sent me a cease and desist part 2. When I started assisting Mariah Carey, her manager was close friends with Jeff Beacher, Kate Hudson's friend, and I guess his landlord. I don't know why it has not crossed my mind until now, but Jeff has to be gay. He's just not a nice dude. I remember him berating me one day at the Beverly Hills Hotel because I was standing up for myself when it came to the way that Cade was treating me. Who knows, maybe the two of them were fucking. Jeff and Cade's whole thing was coming up with deals to present celebrities. Cade was an agent at CAA. I don't really know what the fuck Jeff's job was, but he would connect celebrities with companies like Airbnb to get them deals. CAA is how Cade met Britney to begin with. Britney's agent at CAA was Jason. He eventually became her fiance. I don't know if he was Jason's assistant or if they just worked together and he was sucking up to him to get close to Britney or what. Okay, so like I said, Mariah's manager was close with Jeff Beacher, and of course, before you know it, Cade starts circling like a shark. I never saw Cade again after I dropped him off at the Soho House, and then I'm working at the Hollywood Bowl. Mariah has a show that night, and Mariah's manager sends me to go get Cade, who is with Nikki Hilton, to let them in. Cade was surprised to see that I was the one to go get him. It was like, oh, like, you matter in this world? You're here with Mariah Carey? After the show that night, we had a dinner at Mastro's, and let me tell you, if it was possible for Cade to have been inside of Mariah's asshole, that's where he was. What is so bizarre about Cade's relationship with these celebrities is he so aggressively acts like a fan. Like with Mariah, for example, just after meeting her, like, she could be across the room and he'd be like, Mariah, and he'd be like, you'll always be my baby. You would think these celebrities would be turned off from his aggressive fan behavior, but for some reason they fall for it. Meanwhile, I wanted to like fucking crawl under my chair and die from secondhand embarrassment. Now, at some point, Mariah and her manager realized that Cade and I did not fuck with each other and had a conversation with him, basically asking, so what happened between you and Matt? Did you hook up? And Cade's response was, absolutely not. I would never sleep with Matt. I only sleep with attractive people. Wait, sorry, I rejected you and now you're calling me unattractive? At that point, I was just like, fuck him. I will never interact with him again unless it's absolutely necessary. Which only happened one more time. Mariah was having a tour wrap party at the end of the summer, and she wanted to have it at Dantana's, and she wanted it to be Scarface themed. To which Cade kept saying, no, let me host it at my place for you. At the time, he lived at the 10,000 building. Lots of celebrities live there. Well, like Larsa Pippen, Harry Jowsey, D'Amelio sister types. Now, why did Cade want to host Mariah's party at the 10,000 building? The day of the party, I was leaving the Sony lot with Mariah's publicist, and I said, I'll see you tonight. And she was like, fuck no, I hate Cade. She told me this story about how she hosted a party. It was something important, like I don't know if it was an engagement party or something like that. She was in a bathroom stall. He came into the bathroom and she heard him talking shit about her while she was in there. That just kind of sums up the type of person he is. She told me he had a talent for sort of weaseling his way into female celebrities' lives when they were going through difficult times. And I remember she gave me the example of Kate Beckinsale. So then she says, you do know why he insisted on having the party at his building, right? And I'm like, no. And she was like, the 10,000 building comps him his rent in exchange for him bringing celebrities through the door and keeping their name in the press. The rent at this building, by the way, was $10,000 a month. At the time, I didn't even know how to believe that, but now you see it happen with influencers all the time. They get their rent comped just for them advertising the building. As I told you, I was avoiding Cade at all costs, but being that Mariah was planning a tour wrap party, I couldn't. I mean, this is Mariah Carey. She wanted Scarface themes. She has specific flowers that she wants. She flew in her lighting guy. She flew in her favorite DJ. I get there the night of the party, and his apartment, I guess they removed all the furniture, and there were 2 long tables in his living room. Random celebrities were there, like Megan Good and Kate Bosworth. Britney was already there when we walked into the apartment. She was in the corner with her then fiance, I think, Sam Asghari. Something that was also, this was peak conservatorship. So there was other security people there, but they all waited in the hall. Britney's had to stay in the room. I was so excited to meet Britney. Like, I grew up worshiping her. As I said, there was 2 long tables. It was a formal seated dinner. So I start circling the tables looking for my name card, that was on the guest list I provided Cade. After circling the tables 2 or 3 times, I saw there was not a place for me to sit. I got pissed. Like pissed. I'm not gonna say I made a scene, but I made a little bit of a scene because I knew what he was doing. I wasn't obviously going to bother Mariah Carey with this. So I kneeled down next to Mariah's manager and I was like, fuck this. Fuck him. I was like, I'm leaving. This is ridiculous. And she's like, no, wait. She grabbed Kate Bosworth's card and threw it. And then Kate came up from behind and was like, excuse me. Mariah was whispering across the table, what is going on? That was this night, by the way. And let me remind you, this party was for the wrap of Mariah's tour, something I had just dedicated my life to and been on the road for months. Mariah wanted the people there who worked for her on this tour to celebrate, but somehow it became about Cade. Cade's intention was to embarrass me. It was to make me feel left out. It was to make me feel like I'm the help. At this point, I rejected his advances. He denied it. He called me unattractive, and now he was trying to embarrass me in front of my boss. It felt retaliatory. Before I left, I wound up snapping and telling Mariah's boyfriend at the time that we were only there because it was paying for Cade's rent, which quickly prompted Mariah to leave, and we all went to Dan Tannen's instead. Mariah is a loyal ass bitch. I remember being at that dinner at Dan Tannen's and saying to Mariah, if I ever see that guy again, it'll be too soon. I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire. And if you don't know this about Mariah Carey, Mariah is very funny. I'm funny too. I'm actually very funny, but Mariah's a hard one to crack. It's hard to get her to laugh. And she was fucking cackling. Follow for part 3. I'm gonna wrap it up.